What's the good word, Jets fans? It's your boy DKB here. Aaron Rodgers, these last couple of games, looks like he may be revitalized. Many people have focused around his health issues, especially after the articles that have come out. But looking at these games, you can definitely say that Aaron Rodgers isn't the reason that we've been losing those games. The defense still in large part is massively struggling. But with this turnaround from Aaron Rodgers, the question really has been, should the New York Jets run it back next year with a healthy Rodgers? Do we have potential to make a little bit more of a run rather than having to settle for a complete rebuild and maybe seeing the ceiling being, 6, 7, 8 wins, something along those lines? I wouldn't be mad at the prospect of trying to stay as competitive as possible, right? But still, I'm in the camp that we should probably just separate as amicably as possible and let the new GM, let the new head coach, unless they want Aaron Rodgers, fully realize their dream, fully realize their vision. Let's get these gears in motion. With that said, the question really has been, would Aaron Rodgers effectively hold the New York Jets hostage like he has done with the Green Bay Packers before? And we have got some thoughts and sentiments from him. He shared a quote, or at least had a quote drop in his press conference where he mentioned, when the Packers drafted Jordan Love, I felt like I was one bad stretch from being benched, and I won MVP a couple of years. So that's the way the league is. You have to prove you can play every single week and through stretches. So if the Jets asked me back and they drafted a guy, I'd mentor the hell out of him if I was playing, and I'd try to play as well as I could to keep him on the bench. And it's what you love to hear, right? It's one of the things that I think was kind of an undertone of acquiring Aaron Rodgers, is that we were very excited to see Zach Wilson just sit. We know that you have the tools. Let's get you mentally pieced together. Let's let you see what preparation from a legend looks like. And then you can come in and piece it together, right? The two most recent examples we've seen of quarterbacks that had the opportunity to sit have gone on to achieve some pretty strong success, right? Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love being those two guys, and you can make the argument that they're one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the AFC and the NFC respectively. So with that said, I fully am on board with that. I still am a strong believer in Jordan Travis and what he can potentially be. I don't know if he's what you would consider a franchise quarterback per se, but I think he could be definitely an above average QB that you can win games with and maybe can do enough if you have a strong enough roster to win. So I'm still excited about the prospects of him being in Aaron Rodgers' tutelage as well from whatever he could pick up this year. You also have to keep in mind, though, we still have Tyrod Taylor, though, right? So one of the few things here is that Aaron Rodgers, one of the things that I've kind of picked up on is it feels like he's slowly taking more and more steps back from this, all commanding presence that he's had since he stepped into the building, and he's really relying on the New York Jets to let him know, here's what we want. And then when they have conversations with him, he can say whether he agrees, disagrees, thinks there's some tweaks, etc. So rather than it being I'll let the Jets know when I'm retiring or if I decide to come back, it's more so we'll see if they want to keep me. We'll see if they want to retain my rights, and then from there we can have those conversations. It's also worth mentioning that he's already made the proclamations, if you will, that he has no problem coming back to the negotiation table and looking at a pay cut, a restructure, whatever that looks like, to try to help the New York Jets as well. Once again, if he does decide he wants to play, if the new regime does in fact decide they want to continue with the veteran, there's arguments out there to say that AR is still better than Tyrod, but realistically, we're having this health conversation for going into the 3rd year now with Aaron Rodgers. At that point, it's no longer a one-off situation. This is a trend that's going on. If he's not fully healthy or mostly healthy, you're getting a bad product. And we've seen it for the majority of this season. Errant throws, bad timing, lack of chemistry, overall just looking like there's no semblance of a game plan in place, which isn't all on him, but most of those things are, right? So I don't know which way this goes ultimately with Aaron Rodgers, with the New York Jets, but I leave it up to you guys, right? This is really the question. Do you bring Aaron Rodgers back? Is the net gain of him being able to show at least the traits, the semblance of what it means to be a quarterback in the NFL, and hopefully a young guy can pick it up, and with the youth, with the skill sets, etc., they can hit the ground running whenever they are called upon. Or is it worth hitting the reset now and you just roll with a bridge guy such as Tyrod Taylor, or maybe a rookie does surprise you and he can outperform some of these guys, and we we go through that rookie hellfire once again. I don't know which one makes the most sense. At this point, it seems like we've tried to do everything. Before, it felt like we were putting square pegs through a round hole, and now it just kind of feels like we have the square hole, we have the square peg, but no matter what angle we're trying to get this thing in, it just doesn't go through. So we'll see. Obviously, with all the reports and stuff, it just makes a ton of sense to blame it on the dysfunction of the organization at large. You have multiple people telling you different things all over the place, lack of accountability, etc., etc., etc. None of that ultimately matters. Let's just try to get the right people in place. Is Aaron Rodgers the right option to lead the New York Jets in 2025? I can't say yes to that definitively anyways. I'd probably, again, throw my money behind Tyrod. But let me know where you guys land on this conversation. What are your thoughts? Does the finances matter if he does take a ridiculous pay cut to come back to the New York Jets? Does that change things for you? And then, of course, you have the mentorship bonus as mentioned. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you again. Peace.